welcome to the Beyond Cinema studio here at Tiff, Asghar Farhadi. Firstly, congratulations on all the obvious successes. And tell me, being introduced as an Oscar winner, does it ever seem tiresome or get old, or is it still something to be celebrated?
بعد از اون اتفاق تو زندگی شخصی من چیزی تغییر نکرد. من همون زندگی که قبلا داشتم، رابطم با خانواده‌ام، با دوستام و همکارام توی کشورم همون جوری که قبلا بود هست، ولی باعث شد که تماشاگر بیشتری توی دنیا داشته باشم و امکانات بیشتری در اختیارم باشه برای ساختن فیلم‌های بعدی.
After this event, nothing really happened in my personal life. I've been the same with my family, with my wife, with my daughters, but in my professional life it has changed because I have just much more audience around the world.
Absolutely. How is it hard to follow up mentally as an artist? Is it hard to follow up something that someone loves so much? Does it make you think twice or second guess yourself on the next project?
سخته، اما چون با خودم فکر کنم که سینما برای من مثل یه پلکانی نیست که پله پله باید به یه نقطه خاصی برسم و هر فیلمی برای خودش یه دنیای جذابیت برام داره. اینجوری نگاه نمی کنم که هی باید با هر فیلمی برم یه پله بالاتر بایستم.
It is hard, but I don't think that cinema is like I have to take step by step with every film that I make. For me, every film in itself is a challenge that I have to find it, and it's not that for my next film I have to take another step further up.
In terms of obviously following a separation with something that some might call a divorce, you know, it's kind of the next finality to that step. But of course, in the past, the finality is not quite closed. It's still very much an open thing that they're trying to grasp with. For you, is it also, are you also working with things from your past, moving from Iran to Paris to shoot this, and also like trying to wrap things up neatly in your head, like trying to control your own environment?
میگه که مثل توی سپریشن آخرش ما یک آخر کامل داشتیم، یعنی شما این داستان رو تموم کردین ولی توی پس داستان رو تموم نکردین، دور خودش چرخیدین و هیچ به این نتیجه نرسیدین. میگه آیا میتونین در مورد زندگی خودتون باشه؟ آیا شما دارین چیزی رو میبندین، از ایران اومدین فرانسه و اینو بستین؟
نه واقعا جوری نیست. احساس می‌کنم که هر دو تا فیلم پایاناش به یه اندازه بازه و به یه اندازه در واقع تو یه استایل هر دو تا پایان.
No, not really. I think both films, the endings are in a way open-ended.
همون اندازه که ما پایان فیلم جدایی سوال برامون ایجاد میشه که سرنوشت آدما از این به بعد چه خواهد بود، توی فیلم دپست هم اتفاق میفته.
Just the same way that in a separation, you after the ending, you ask what's going to happen to these people, what's their destiny. The same thing happens in the past. You're asking.
توی هر دو فیلم داستان موقعی تموم میشه که یه داستان جدیدی داره شروع میشه.
In both films, the story ends exactly the place where another story is just beginning.
من چون تصمیمم این نیست که بیام و از این به بعد همش فقط بیرون از ایران فیلم بسازم و همیشه این امکان برام وجود داره که بتونم داستانی که به ذهنم میرسه و توی ایرانم بسازم، پس با اومدنم به بیرون از ایران چیزی برام تغییر نکرده، فیلمساز دیگه ای نشدم.
No, this is not the fact that I'm going to, just because I made a film, I'm going to come outside of Iran and make films. There's always this possibility for me to go back to Iran and make films. And this fact has not changed anything in me.
In terms of creatively working in Paris, did you feel a sense of you know, a greater creative freedom to do things, or do you still feel that either place would work equally as well?
این احساس رو داشتم که راحت ترم، یعنی سختی کمتری برای فیلم ساختن میکشیدم و کسی همون چیزی که فکر میکنم رو میتونم بسازم.
Yes, I did feel the same. I feel this way. I felt I had much more flexibility to work creatively, and this was much easier for me to express what I wanted to do.
ولی چون همیشه سالهاست که عادت کردم که با اون شکل و با اون سختی ها فیلم بسازم، یکم هم این برام عجیب بود، انگار فکر کنم یه چیزی کمه.
But because for many years I've been used to work under very hard circumstances, so when I moved there I was thinking, okay, what's going on? What's wrong here?
فکر می‌کردم که یه بخشی از اون خلاقیت‌ها شاید به خاطر همون چیزایی باشه که من باش در واقع کار کردم، همون شرایطی که باش کار کردم.
And I thought maybe this part, a lot of creativity came because I was working under those hard circumstances, the situation that I was, so I was maybe perhaps creative more.
Right, the artist's struggle, you know. But also, you know, moving to somewhere that has those freedoms, you know, sometimes it might take someone to changes the camera too, because they can move it further, take it outside, do more with it. But yet you maintained your kind of signature style of getting really into these characters in a very intense, personal, intimate way. That was important for you stylistically?
من اون استایلی که قبلا داشتم رو واقعا بهش باور دارم و به خاطر این نیست که به خاطر شرایطی که اونجا وجود داشته من این استایل رو انتخاب کردم. و اون چیزیه که اگر حتی شرایط دیگری هم در کشورم بود باز عاشق همون شکل کار کردنم.
I use this style not because it was the circumstances told me what to do, because I truly honestly believe and have faith in the style which is mine, and it's not because I'm going somewhere I'm going to change this.
من فکر کنم فیلمسازایی که میرن بیرون از کشور خودشون فیلم میسازن یا بیرون از فرهنگ خودشون فیلم میسازن دو تا راه دارن. یا اینکه دنیای خودشون رو با خودشون ببرن اونجایی که دارن فیلم میسازن، یا دنیای خودشون رو بذارن و رها کنن و برن یه دنیای جدیدی رو شروع کنن.
I think the filmmakers that go beyond their boundaries and try to film outside, they have two options. It's whether they're going to carry their world across and they do the same way, or they're going to completely forget this behind and start anew.
من راه اول رو انتخاب کردم. دارم اگر هر جایی که میرم فیلم میسازم دنیای خودمو ببرم اونجا و دوباره اونجا بسازم.
I have chosen the first option. Wherever I go, I'm going to take my world and my style and I'm going to continue that way.
And obviously the critics have been very receptive to those steps, whether it was with Ellie in Berlin or with a separation at the Academy and elsewhere. And of course this film, Bérénice Bejo, you know, winning the Actress Prize at Cannes, that must feel very like a great deal of satisfaction knowing that community of film enthusiasts are behind you along the way. For you working with Bérénice, obviously her role in The Artist had fewer words than this one. What did you see in her that made you want to work with her?
من برنیس رو با فیلم The Artist شناختم و بعدش همه فیلمهاش رو دیدم.
I met Bérénice through her film The Artist, and then afterwards I watched all her films.
خوشبختانه این فرصت هم وجود داشت که چون هر دو فیلم توی همزمان فیلم من و فیلم اونا توی پروموشن داشتن توی امریکا، سفرهای زیادی داشته باشیم و توی این سفرها من ببینمش.
Fortunately, we were traveling together. She was promoting her own film, The Artist, and I was doing my own The Separation. So we got a lot of opportunities to get to know each other.
ولی موقعی که این فیلمنامه رو می‌نوشتم به اون فکر نمی‌کردم و به خاطر همین توی نوشتنم و توی فیلمنامه در واقع رولی که توی The Artist بازی کرده بود تأثیری نداشت.
But when I was writing the script, I was not thinking about her. So while I was writing the script, her role in The Artist did not have any influence on my writing.
به طور اتفاقی اول این فیلم هم برنیس در واقع حرف نمیزنه و صامته.
It's by chance that even in the beginning of the past, Bérénice is not talking. She's just miming.
شاید این نشانه خوبی بود برای اینکه اون بیاد تو این فیلم.
Maybe this was a good sign so she could actually move forward into this film.
ولی خیلی از کار کردن باش لذت بردم.
But I really loved working with her.
یکی از باهوشترین هنرپیشه‌ای که من تا الان باش کار کردم.
She's by far one of the smartest actors I've ever worked with.
یکی از هنرپیشه‌ها خیلی سخت میشه هنرپیشه پیدا کرد که هم کمدی بتونه بازی کنه و خوب باشه و هم کار جدی و درام بتونه بازی کنه و خوب باشه.
It's very hard to find an actor who can do comedy and be very good at it and at the same time do a serious drama work and be very good at it.
In terms of your role and the way you represent Iran as well around the world, there are so many, it feels like there's a wave of these, you know, filmmakers coming out, the Keshavars family, and you know, I just, even going back, you know, I just had lunch with Shorea Aghdashloo, and she was talking about supporting all these new people coming out to the US to tell these stories. Do you feel now like you have a responsibility as a mentor to these people that are all looking up to you and giving them an opportunity?
و من خیلی دارم از این فرار میکنم که به نظر بیاد فیلمسازی هم که اومدم دیگه بیرون از کشورم فقط فیلم بسازم.
I'm trying to get away from this idea that I'm a filmmaker who has stepped out of the country and is now trying to make my films over here.
به هر حال هر کسی تو خونه خودش راحت تره و عادت بیشتری داره و راحت تر میتونه فیلم بسازه.
Everyone is much easier to make films back home. It's much comfortable for them. They have much more stuff at their disposal.
بعضی موقع برای عده مشکلاتی پیش میاد که دیگه نمیتونن برگردن خونهشون و کار کنن. من اونا رو میفهمم.
For some filmmakers, it's going to be difficult for them to come back after what they've done, perhaps. I understand that.
ولی خودم تلاشم میکنم که رابطم رو با فیلمسازی توی کشورم قطع نکنم.
What I'm trying to do most is not to disconnect from filmmaking back home.
چون احساس کنم که مثل ریشه های منه، من از اونجا تغذیه میکنم.
Because these are my roots. This is what feeds me.
با همه سختی‌ها من اگر این ریشه‌ها رو قطع کنم مطمئنم به مرور بعد از چند سال دیگه چیزی برای روی پرده آوردن نخواهم داشت.
If I disconnect, I know that within few years I will not have anything to project on the screen.
این یه حقیقت تلخه، باید پذیرفت این رو.
This is a bitter truth and we have to accept that.
فیلمسازایی که توی سنین بالاتر از کشورشون اومدن بیرون خیلی کارشون سخت بوده.
The filmmakers who at an older age have left their country, it's made their work much difficult.
به خاطر همین من در رفت آمدم. میرم اونجا و برمیگردم و با خودم میگم که اگر یه داستانی پیدا کردی که توی ایران اتفاق میفته اصلا مهم نیست، اونجا کار میکنم.
That's why I'm commuting back and forth, and if I find a story that is going to happen there, I'm going to make my film there.
We appreciate you coming in and spending a few minutes with us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.